Okay, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our call tonight. Excited to be here with you guys. Welcome to all you guys that are here for the first time and the people that are here many times. Shout out to you guys, Tui, Barbara. It is right now 10 minutes past the hour, 9:10 a.m. here in Boracay, Philippines. I absolutely love this place. It's kind of monsoon season, so it's pretty rainy. Probably not the best time to come to a tropical resort. But with that being said, could be worse. Could be worse. It's been rainy all night, which was actually perfect. Slept like a baby. And now we're up and Adam ready to take on the day and what it holds. So I'm excited, as always, to really share this information that's made a huge difference in my life personally and in the lives of so many of our partners around the world. We're currently in 19 countries and counting. And Divinfi is really just the leading edge when it comes to cryptocurrency, blockchain, and consciousness. It's the ultimate freedom ecosystem, which never has been done. I was talking to one of my buddies the other day, and I shared it with a couple of people before, but he had a network marketing company back in the day, and he had done close to $100 million in sales. And I was telling him what we were doing. He's like, dude, like no way, no freaking way that's happening. He's like, if you do it, then you'll be the first to do it. I'm like, yeah, bro, I know. We are the first to do it. And it's never been done. And I say that wholeheartedly, and other people in the industry see it and they're like, okay, you guys are onto something huge. And that's what really entrepreneurship and leadership and innovation is all about. It's being and having the depth of vision way before the masses are able to actually see it. And so if you're watching this for the first time, you're in for a treat. I'm going to actually share with you guys a video that we created that will help you understand at least the overview of what exactly we're creating. And so in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to share my screen. Got my handy dandy iPad. Okay. Using my phone before, so this is way, way, way more easy to utilize. Or is it? I stand corrected. Oh, there it is. Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
Witness the dawn of a new era. In a world where consciousness and currency converge. Join Don Smith as he guides personal transformation. Introducing AI Polo, your gateway to financial freedom. Where spiritual enlightenment meets financial abundance. Join our network and unlock infinite earning potential. Divinfi. Elevate your consciousness. Multiply your currency. Join the revolution today.
Divinfi. Elevate your consciousness and multiply your currency. So I want to welcome you guys to the biggest launch in history. And I'm not just saying that. I truly know that. I know that with every single part of my being, with every fabric of my being. And I've never been a part of something that was just truly here to help everyone. And so with that being said, I'm going to share some information with you today. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on what that video covered. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Sam Hidja. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Divinfi. And it really is just my honor and the privilege to be able to share this revolutionary platform with you all that are watching this. So I want to welcome you to the biggest launch in history. Our vision is to create an ecosystem that brings freedom to all 8 billion people here on Earth. And what that looks like, what is freedom exactly? It's comprised of four components. So we have the financial freedom, location freedom, the time freedom, and the emotional freedom. So I'll share a little bit about my story, and that way you have a little background on me and how this actually shifted for me and how it could shift things for you, no matter where you are in your life and what stage you are in your life. I know that this can aid you in your journey to true freedom. And so I got introduced to the world of entrepreneurship at the age of 18, at the tender, ripe age of 18. Right? Like I was still a baby. I didn't know anything really about the world. I didn't realize the complexities of the world. And I'm still obviously learning and unlearning and all these things. And so I was I would say you're below average student, right? Before entrepreneurship. I went to school, didn't really care about school. They said that I had ADHD, right? And I heard that ADHD stands for a dude has dreams. I was definitely dreaming, definitely dreaming. I was either asleep, dreaming, or literally awake, daydreaming. I never paid attention in class, never did homework, barely even, I don't even know how I passed. Like, literally, do not even know how I passed. And then after high school, I ended up like I had enough. I don't know how I even did this. I don't like it's all blurred to me. Like I had enough college credits to go into college as a second year college student. So went to college after being there for probably like couple months, I think, maybe a couple semesters. I don't even remember. It's literally that much of a blur. It feels like it never happened. I was doing international business and marketing, and I remember walking out of the class because I asked my teacher that was teaching me business on how to build a business because money was really like what I thought freedom was. And she was like, I asked her like, how much are you making a year? Nonchalantly. And she's like, yeah, $50,000 between this business that I have and then teaching. I was like, holy crap, you're only making 50 grand a year. And I knew that that wasn't that much money, right? And I was like, I want to make 50K a month. And so I ended up leaving and I got introduced to the world of entrepreneurship through my friend's older brother who was in the car business. And so I got into the car business and we started doing car exporting and was sending cars to like Dubai and Saudi Arabia, Africa, all these places. And I earned my first six-figure income at the age of 18. And I thought that was the end all be all. But then I realized that I had pretty decent money for, especially at an 18-year-old in 2011. But I was working 80 hours a week. I was losing my health. And so I was like, there has to be more. And then I got introduced to someone else. And this is why I always say it's not what you know, it's who you know. Your net worth is directly connected to your network, the people that you know. And so I got introduced to another gentleman who was living like this movie star lifestyle, which I was highly impressed by back then. Now, not so much. There's obviously more depth and, like I said, more complexity to life now. And he was only a couple years older than I, and he was like getting on private jets, in multiple supercars. He retired his parents at a young age. And so I was like, wow, like, this guy's living life. And so I started to get mentored by him, and he got me introduced to the industry of network marketing, which opened up a whole new world, which I realized that, like just having money wasn't everything because if you take a look at it, like for example, you're like a specialized doctor or something, probably make a few $100,000 a year, but he has no time or energy to enjoy it because he's so busy working. And that's where I was. And so I shifted into this world of network marketing. And from there, I got introduced to, affiliate marketing, direct sales, e-commerce, trading both Forex and cryptocurrencies. I got introduced to the coaching industry. I got introduced to rental arbitrage. And that's where I earned millions and millions of dollars for myself personally. And I was able to help many dozens of people earn over a six-figure income. And so things started to change. I had the money and then I was able to now just fly to whatever city or country, enjoy the money. And it was starting to get fun and good, and now I was working more for, what I thought was purpose, but really it was just fueling more of the things that I was, the addictions, because I had actually several addictions at the time, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. And so, in 2023, the second half, I was married at the time. It had been about 4 years since we got married. I met her in Hawaii. I ended up like being semi-retired, living in Hawaii at 25. And I met her. She was a supermodel at the time. And I retired her out of her job. And we were like just doing traveling. Took her like 4 honeymoons a year, like, the whole shebang. And then we moved to Dallas, Texas, and we were getting really bored in the city. They're like, hey, let's go to Southeast Asia and Asia and travel and go and explore before we have kids. And so ended up going to Asia, and it started to get noticeably much worse. Every relationship has problems, but it was getting a lot worse. And obviously, it takes two to tango. So it's not only her fault, it's also my fault. And things started to get really toxic. And, I just couldn't handle it anymore. And so I ended up actually walking away from her and ending it with a divorce. Um, but not before it got really bad. I was having massive anxiety, depression, panic attacks that were literally debilitating. I would literally wasn't able to do any work. I was getting suicidal thoughts of like jumping off the 48th floor at the penthouse that I was staying at. I was like, dude, things have to change. So I ended up just walking away because I just couldn't deal with it. And that's a whole other story. After that, I ended up going from Thailand at the time, Phuket, Thailand. It's another island, and traveling to Bali, Indonesia. And at the time, I was addicted heavily to marijuana. I smoked it every single day for 12 years. And so I literally took marijuana on an international flight, which is literally the biggest no-no. And then into one of a very strict country like Indonesia, which is like it's mostly Muslim. And so they have very strict laws over there. And I ended up getting myself in jail, spent 6 days in jail, 17 days in a rehab facility. And from there, ended up having to pay $50,000 US or possibly get the death penalty. So my life completely started to change. I had to really look inside myself and like ask myself, what is it that I truly want? Because that wasn't ideal. I could have lost my life for something ridiculous. And so after getting out of jail, I had my buddy Jamie, who's the CEO of this company. He introduced me to his mentor. His name is Don Smith, and Don completely changed my life, just like he's changed many people's lives around the world, including our Divinfi partners. And so Don has been creating a transformational program for the last 44 years. He's worked with 8 billionaires. He's worked with the guys that created the BlackBerry, athletes at the Olympic level in 15 different sports. He's worked with cancer patients and like it's crazy. So this transformational program is the number one program in the world by far. And I know this because I literally had done all of I won't say all, but I'd say all the different categories of personal development, whether it was reading thousands of books and audio books, doing the seminars, the workshops, the energy works, the transformational workshops, the plant medicine, the coaching, got certified with Bob Proctor. I did the whole nine, the whole shebang. But when I met Dawn, I didn't realize how transformational it was gonna be, but it was something beyond words, beyond logic. And so he took me through this 2-hour process and he completely shifted everything for me. And in 2 hours, all of the anxiety, depression, panic attack, suicidal thoughts, all the addictions, addicted to marijuana, sex, travel, money, people pleasing, validation, all of that was completely gone within 2 hours. And like it's crazy because like people go to rehab for a year or two, pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then the next day after they get out, they relapse. And I haven't relapsed since. So it was really astonishing to see the power of his work. And not only did I not relapse, I've been on a whole other level of just embodiment. The high that I receive every day, it's like there's no drug that I would ever give up that gives me what I feel on a day-to-day basis after doing Don's program. And so some of our Divinfi partners can vouch for this. And if you are watching this and you're in our group, go ahead and check out some of the testimonials. And if you want to, we can definitely drop some for you. But it was definitely one of the biggest shifts. And I'm going to explain a little bit more so you can see how this would work for you personally. There's this chart right here. It's called the chart of consciousness. It was developed by a guy named Dr. Hawkins, who wrote a book called Power versus Force. Now, I'd highly suggest reading this book. And if you do, I would probably suggest reading it after you do the process because it'll make a lot more sense. I read this book over 10 years ago and it didn't really, it intellectually made sense, but I didn't have a full embodiment of it. So what it says is that the emotions that we experience, they're on a scale from 0 to 1,000, with shame being at 20, fear is 100, courage is 200, and then enlightenment is a 700 to 1,000. Then you have all of the different levels in between. So for reference, a guy named Hitler was at a level of 50, and we know what he did. More than 80% of the world is actually underneath this line right here, 210. That's the average consciousness of the world, of the planet right now. More than 80% of the planet is under here. And I would say more than 80% of those 80% are at the level of fear. Fear of losing their jobs, the fear of losing their spouse, the fear of losing their life, all of just living in fear. And fear is just an acronym for false evidence appearing real. And once you do Don's process, you face everything and rise. Okay, so the level of enlightenment, you can reference this level with all of the great teachers, all the great masters, whether it was Abraham, Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, Zoroaster, any of the great teachers that ever walked this earth. Their number one thing that they were trying to tell everyone was that enlightenment is your natural state. It is you and I's natural state. And if you don't believe me, just if you've ever seen a child being born, how much light enters that room whenever that child is born? How much joy is created just by that child being there? You could just take a look. And if I'm personally not a father, but I've seen my mom and dad how happy they were whenever they saw my baby brother being born. So if you're a child, if you're a mom or a father, just think about that one time whenever you saw your newborn. It's a simple example. Now, I haven't experienced it. Hopefully soon, working on potential prospects. But essentially, what happens in this process that Don takes you to, he takes you to the very first moment where you sustain a trauma. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical abuse. I personally went through tons and tons of physical abuse growing up, and that really affected me. And that's why I was at the level of 125, give or take, maybe 125 to 200, kind of varying from there. But it doesn't have to be that. It could literally just be you on your bike falling off, or being scared by a dog, or hearing your parents, fight. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to be sexual abuse. It doesn't have to be anything truly crazy in what the world deems traumatic. It's just something that makes you dim your light and start to play small. So Dawn takes you to the process. He takes you to that first moment. He helps you release this energetic anchor. And what this anchor is keeping you in these lower levels of consciousness. So imagine being at the bottom of the ocean and you have an anchor attached to you and you're trying to swim to the top. And what happens is every time you go 30% up, this anchor drops you back down. You go 30% up, 40% up, 50% up, drops you back down. So that's why whenever you do the plant medicine, aka drugs with plants in them, you do ayahuasca, you do mushrooms or whatever, they all have their own levels of consciousness. So they artificially change your consciousness. But once you come down from that high, you go back to your wherever that anchor is, which is why I personally like to smoke weed back in the day because it vibrates at a level of 350 and I was at 125. So I felt like I was getting high, so it's relative. Now, if I smoke weed, I guarantee I'm gonna drop in consciousness. That's why I don't do I don't use any drugs. I don't drink. I don't do any of these things because I am literally sustained. I feel whole from within. And that is exactly what happens for you. You're able to access your natural state, which is enlightenment. So this is the consciousness side of things. You have the ability to go through Don's program. He does a program every single Tuesday for new clients, and Thursdays are for existing clients. So we'll have a class tomorrow. Whether or not you've done it before, I would suggest going to it. Make sure that you do it because you need to make sure that you get to that first moment. And I'll share at another time when we have some more time, like kind of like what happened for me, what I saw, and so on and so forth. But make sure you're going to the classes. This is the building block of what we're creating. Having all the money in the world without the consciousness is pure hell, and then vice versa. You need both. But I'll give you one last story to wrap up the consciousness side of things. There's a guy named Tim, which was one of Don's clients. Tim had learned about Don through one of his buddies that was working for the BlackBerry company. And what happened was Tim had been going through some crazy times. He had been literally living in his own self-created hell where he had 5 addictions. He had drugs, alcohol, sex, food, and gambling. He had so much anxiety that he couldn't fly on his $100 million private jet. He had or was going through a divorce. So he was going through this crazy, crazy like time in his life. And then he does this process with Don, and literally his life completely shifted. Now he had the money, he had the billions of dollars, and he had the consciousness. He went from living his own self-created hell to his own self-created heaven. So make sure that you go through Don's process. Now we're going to talk about the currency side of things. Okay, so nowadays AI is really taking the world by storm, so much so that people trust AI with their life. They trust it with their life. They get in their Tesla, they put in the coordinates, it takes them to and from their destination hands-free. So now it's time for you to trust AI to help you grow your bank account hands-free. And so we're launching Apollo, AI Apollo, which is our AI that uses deep learning technology. It's not an algorithm, it's an AI, a legit AI that gets better and better and better and better. It learns as it goes and is doing 20 to 50% return a month on your cryptocurrency future investment. Doesn't matter what the heck it is. It could be soybeans for all you care, but it's growing your money 20 to 50%. In fact, it just did a few percent just today. So it is very revolutionary. And so we met the guy that developed this in Dubai, where our company is incorporated. And he had been developing it since 2017. And it's been pretty insane what he's been able to do. In the last couple of years, there has actually been, it's been an average of about 28% return. There have been months where he's done 70, 80%. So yeah, it can do more than 50%. And there have been months, we took a look at his Binance accounts. He literally let us see it. And so there's also been months that have done less than 20%. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be 20 to 50%, but this is the range that we see it doing month to month. And this month, it actually did 51% returns. So this is a really amazing technology. the caveat was in the beginning, he was like, the minimum that you needed to deposit was $100,000 to use this. So we ended up putting up the money so we can get access to the service. But we were like, hey, we want to open this to our community, and not everybody has that kind of investment. So we dropped it down to 10,000 and then eventually to $1,000. So you can get access to Apollo with a minimum of $1,000. The caveat is you're going to do a profit split of 50-50 on the profits with the developer. So that's paid out sometime between the 20th and the 25th of every single month. And so if you do $1,000 at 20% growth, that's $200 profit. $100 goes to you, $100 goes to the developer. If you do 50% on a $1,000 account, that's $500 profit. $250 goes to you, $250 goes to the developer. Simple. Okay, now let's talk about compounding. Albert Einstein said it best. He said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. And you can take a look. Just look at how crazy credit card debt is, right? That's compound interest. You just keep on compounding your debt, and you keep on paying for it for the rest of your life. Personally, I think it's a crime when it's done that way. But compound interest the other way is absolutely revolutionary. I'm going to show you how you can utilize and you can get rid of your old boring savings account that's doing 1% a year, right? It's doing 1% a year. The banks are giving you 1% per year, but they're not telling you that the inflation in the United States is literally 1% per month. So you're losing 12% a year. They're giving you 1%. Congratulations. You just by having your money in a savings account, you just lost 11%. And in other countries, it's worse. Like Argentina was at one point, I think they're doing a little bit better now, but they were losing hundreds of percent per freaking month. It was so bad that the shops didn't even have a legit menu. They just had a paper, and they would just change the stickers every day because every day the price would be different because the money was devaluing so quickly. And this doesn't matter if you're in the UK, if you're in Brazil, South Africa, if you're in Australia, if you're in Iceland, it does not matter. The whole world is actually going through this hyperinflation. So I'm going to show you a way where you could ditch your boring old savings accounts and you can start to use our AI, which you can think of as a savings account on steroids. So I'm going to share this compounding calculator, which will really put things into perspective for you on how you can actually have your money grow rather than lose value month to month to month. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So I'm going to show you something really awesome. So at $1,000 initial investment, doing 10% a month, 10% for 5 years. I'm going to show you how your money would grow. So let's take a look at the monthly breakdown. So you start off with $1,000. Month one, you're in $100 interest. You have a total of $1,100. Month two, you earn 10% on your $1,100. That's $110 interest. That second month, you have a total of $1,210. 10% on $1,210, you earn $121. You have a total of $1,331. Let's skip to month six. Month six, you earn $161 in interest. You have $1,771 in total balance. Month eight, you earned almost $200, $194. Now you've already doubled your account in 8 months. So you're telling me in 8 months, you did 100% return, 100+% return on your $1,000 investment, where it would have taken you over, if you're in the traditional model, the savings account, that would take you 100 years. You would literally die before you saw this kind of return if you use the old model. And then if you're taking like a high yield savings account, they do what, like 5-10% a year. We're talking, you know, just as much, if not double that per month. Okay, so 1 year in, you earn $285 in your 12th month. That's $31.38 total balance. 2 years in, you earned $895.43 on your balance. Now you have about almost $10,000 in your balance. You did another 10% on that, you're earning $984.97. You have 10,834. Now fast forward to 36 months, 3 years in, you're earning $2,810 in interest in your third year. That's a total balance of $30,912. 4 years in, $88.19, total balance of $97.17. Now 5 years in, you would earn $27,680.15 in 1 month, and then you'd have a total balance of $304,481.64. And you started off with $1,000. So imagine if you got started with more. Okay, so what I would suggest someone is if only invest what you're willing to lose, because this is an investment and this isn't like a guarantee, but based off of what we've seen and literally just the profits that we've been earning, we're pretty damn confident. And so utilize this technology and leverage your money, because I mean, there's really you don't have many options. And even if you don't want to use hours, find something that's at least minimum doing 1% a month, meaning 12% a year. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about being an entrepreneur and an investor. This guy right here, his name is Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant, which is an amazing book. I highly recommend. And he talks about the 4 quadrants. So there's the E, which is employee. And as an employee, you're trading your time for money. Time for dollars, time for euros, time for pesos. Doesn't matter. You're spending time to earn money. You have to be in a job to earn income, which is the first way you can get paid. And if you're in a job, that's okay. We're not here to shit on jobs, but we're here to open up on how you can shift from the left side of the quadrant to the right side. Everyone started off somewhere. I remember my first job and my second job and my third job and my last job. I absolutely hated it, I can admit. And if you don't hate your job and if you love doing what you do, that's awesome. Keep doing that. But we're going to show you how you can work for passion, not for profit, where you can actually earn income while you're at the job that you love. And if you hate your job, we'll teach you how to fire your boss. I remember the day that I walked away and I said, I'm never going back to my job ever again. It was the most empowering thing that I've ever done. And so as an employee, let's say you work at a smoothie shop, right? You work from 9 to 5, you get paid from 9 to 5. Usually you're living from paycheck to paycheck. You have a whole lot of month at the end of the money. Okay, and then you're like, you know what? Screw this. I want to open up my own smoothie shop. I want to be the boss. So you go open up your own shop. You become a self-employed business owner. You're self-employed. So you're employed by yourself. You don't have a job anymore, but you own a job. Okay, so because you're literally limited by your movement, your location, you have to be there. Even if you have employees, you have to be there. You cannot take 5 months off or your business will fall apart. Even if you have a manager and all these things, you might have, you might stay the same. You're not going to grow, or you might completely collapse. If you're not checking in with them, if you're not building the business, the business will collapse. That's just how it goes. So the shift is from going from here to here. Now you get paid off of your time and efforts here. You get paid off of leverage here. So as a business owner, you're getting paid off of leverage. Here you're getting paid off of leveraging a system and people. And here you're getting paid off of leveraging your money. So as a business owner, take, for example, Elon Musk. He has about 100,000 employees. They all work about 8 hours for him every day. He might have 24 hours in a day, just like you and I, but he's leveraging 800,000 man hours. 800,000 man hours. So that's why he's able to get all that he's getting done in a day-to-day basis. Do you think he'd be able to launch three of the most biggest companies in the world if he had to be in one location if he only had a few employees? Absolutely not. So he has a system, those people work in that system, and that system, which stands for saving yourself some time, energy, money, it allows him to go and do these things that are more creative, right? And now the shift is to go from here to here, or you just stay on, do both of these. Is to become an investor, have your money work for you rather than work for your money. So back in the day, it would take you, or even just now, right? Like you want to earn some passive income from, for example, real estate, or I would say residual income from real estate. If you want to make $500 in residual income every single month, you would need to invest about $250,000 into a piece of real estate so it can cash flow you $500 a month. But nowadays, with technology, you can get started, with our AI with a minimum of $1,000 USD. And so how do you get access to our products? So we have one package. It's called the Freedom Package for our clients. These are for people that just want to use the products. They're happy just using the products. They don't want to do anything else. So it's $149 startup and then $99 per month. What do you get? You get the two products that we offer. We like to keep it simple. You get Don's program, which, by the way, like I told you about Tim's story, Tim paid him $1 million. Don personally charged me $15,000. Okay, that alone is worth way more than what we're charging for this membership. Now, the second thing is the AI, which the minimum was 100,000 US dollars minimum to get started. That one alone is way more worth than what we're charging for it. We just want to help everyone win, so we created the Freedom Pack. You get started, you get some amazing results from the products, and you want to refer to some people. If you refer 3 people, you get your membership for free. So let's say you referred your mom, your dad, your brother. Now your membership is absolutely free. You don't have a cost to incur. And so now I'm going to talk about building a business, how you can create a worldwide business, a network of people all over the world. Like I said, we're in 19 different countries right now. We're still in pre-launch. And so we built this in the industry of network marketing. So what network marketing is instead of spending and investing millions and millions of dollars on billboards, advertising, commercials, all the traditional ways of marketing it, we pay people like you and I to share the good word. That's all you got to do. Just share it with people, make some connections. And so you have the ability to earn an infinite income potential. So you can earn anywhere from $100 a month all the way to $4 million every single month. Now, you can also earn a weekly residual income. I think like over a dozen people got paid their weekly residual income yesterday. So instead of investing $40 million into a piece of real estate to earn $500 a month or however much, like I said, you can earn up to $4 million a month. And it's nowhere near as much overhead. We're talking $99 a month for services that are going to completely change your life. I mean, I have a traditional company in the real estate world, actually. Trust me, you're not going to have no kind of overhead that's $99 per month for a business. We're investing so much money every single month just to build the business, scale it, our employees, our systems. This is a freaking steal if I've ever seen one. The industry itself is amazing, but what we've put together is just next level. Now, there are no qualifications or experiences needed. You could have been the worst student, the best student. You could be white, brown, black, yellow, purple, doesn't matter. Your race doesn't matter. Where you're born doesn't matter. Where you're located in the world does not matter. You don't have to have an amazing resume. You could have went to Yale and you could have went to jail, which I've been to jail. I've been homeless actually at one point. I was literally homeless for 4 months. So if I could do it, then you could do it. Now, the last thing is that there are team building incentives. So you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. You have a whole system that's helping you achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And let's get into the money side of things, how you can earn an income here with our Divinfi Freedom ecosystem. So there's a couple of things you want to take into consideration. This column right here are all the rank names. These are the qualifications right here, the network size and the personal referrals. The network size, simply what it is a business owner, you're always building a network of clients. Just think about your local family doctor. Let's say he has 100 clients that see him every 2 to 3 months. He's built a network of clients that pay him for his services. Okay, now the second qualifier is the personal referrals. These are the people that you will personally refer into the system. Now, there's 3 ways you get paid. There's a weekly payout, which is paid out once a week. Like yesterday was Monday, we get paid out Mondays. Awesome. Now there's a one-time rank bonus. Whatever rank you achieve, you'll get paid out this bonus the next month. So if you hit, let's say the first time you get a bonus is at connector 200, at the $200 it's a $200 bonus. If you hit that in your first month, you get paid at the very beginning of the second month. Awesome. And the third way is called the direct bonus, which is paid out daily. Normally, it's $50 per membership, but until we're done with pre-launch, you're going to earn $100 per membership. Okay, pretty awesome. So yeah, you get paid daily. It's freaking awesome. You sign somebody up today to use a membership, you get paid that same day. We pay out either in crypto or fiat. I've actually really been enjoying cryptocurrency because it's instant. I don't gotta wait 3 to 4 business days for the bank to give me my money. Like, give me my freaking money now, banks. So if you want to hit the rank of inviter, you need a total of 3. So 2 on your left, 1 on your right. So that's 3 total. And then out of those 3, you need 2. You need 1 on your left team, 1 on your right team. Says your mom and your dad. Now you're getting paid $25 a week, which is $100 a month. Now, some of you are like, how do you do this? So let's say you got your mom and your dad. Your dad goes out and he gets his brother, your uncle. Now you have 3 total. You are now an inviter. Okay, so next rank is connector 200. At 200, you're going to need 4 total on your left, 4 on the right. Out of those 8, you're going to bring 2, the same 2. In fact, this doesn't change until the 5th rank. So you can hit all the way up to connector 900 with only 2 personally referred. And then let's say, those 2 are absolutely amazing what they do. And all that volume will continue to count towards your rank. Okay, so like I said, let's say your mom and your dad, let's say your mom, she goes out and she brings in all of this volume, 4, 10, 20, your dad, same thing, 4, 10, 20, doesn't matter. All of that counts towards you. At Connection 200, you're earning $50 a week, which is $200 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $200. Same thing, Connector 500, $125 a week, $500 a month, and then a one-time bonus of $500. 900, same thing, 20 on your left, 20 on your right, same 2, and you're earning $225 a week, which is $900 a month. Now, could someone on your team absolutely go and run and kill it? Could you get someone like Tui, which is absolutely crushing it in her system? Yeah, sure. But the more practical way of going about it, and I like to talk possibilities and probabilities rather than this is for sure going to happen, because it's not ideal. It is you focusing on the rank of inviter. Focusing on the rank of inviter, you're going to hit inviter, you're going to refer your 2, and then you're going to hit inviter, and then you're going to help your parents or whoever 2 you have to hit the same rank. And then they're going to teach their people, so on and so forth. It's going to duplicate down. And as that duplicates, then you start throwing up the ranks. And this is what Zig Ziglar says. He says the more people that you help get what they want, you'll get everything that you want. So it's just focusing on helping as many people get what they want, and eventually by default, you'll get everything that you want. So this is a win-win-win system. Absolutely the best way, I believe. And even Robert Kiyosaki says this in his book called The Business of the 21st Century. He says that network marketing is the business of the 21st century. So that's why we chose this model, because there's no other way. The traditional model is dead. Okay, I know this because I have a traditional business. As much as I want to pay my employees more, I can't. But here we help you, and we're all sharing in the profits. We're all sharing in the profits. The company literally pays out, I should say the ecosystem. It's not a company, it's an ecosystem, a self-sustaining ecosystem, pays out 80% of the profits. So at Connector 1500, the only thing that shifts is that instead of having one on your left, one on your right, you're gonna have two on your left, two on your right. Let's say it's your mom and your dad at first, then you brought your brother and your sister. Now you have four total. Out of the 40 on your left, 40 on your right, you're earning $375 a week, which is $1,500 a month, and then $1,500 one-time rank bonus. Same thing. We're gonna just pay this out. Whatever you get paid for, or whatever you rank you hold that the month before, you get paid out the next month, and so on and so forth. $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, 9,000, 15, 25, 50, $100,000 a month. So you can go part-time here where you're earning $500 a month. This literally surpasses what you'd be earning from a real estate property. And if you wanted, you could take the $500 you're earning from here, the $500 bonus, you can throw it into the AI. Now you're earning residual income off the plan, and you're earning passive income off of the AI, which is absolutely amazing. Now, you can go full-time, earning $9,000 a month. That's a six-figure income, which is pretty decent money, especially if you learn how to hack the matrix, which, let me give you a secret. Okay, you ready? You wanna learn the biggest secret in the world right now? You earn US dollars, and then you travel to places like Thailand, like Bali, like the Philippines, like Africa, like all these places that have a way more, just, it's obviously it's a way less uh cost to live, and they have way more things to do. It's way more fun here. And you just take this income, and then you're earning $9,000 a month in a place like Thailand or like the Philippines. You're living like royalty. Let's say you're earning more than like the presidents. Okay, let's say that. Now at $25,000 a month, you're going big time. And this is actually where our fourth way you get paid out, our bonus, which is really exclusive to the leadership, and it really incentivizes the leadership. So this is where you earn from the global pool bonus, which is paid out monthly. So what we do is we take all of the global sales for the month, and whatever that is, we take 1% of the global sales. Let's say that 1% totals out to be $1 million. We put that into a pool, and that's split amongst the number of shares that there are. So $1 million, let's say there's 10 shares, 10 shares divided by $1 million, that's $100,000 per share. So you'd earn an extra 100 here, an extra 100 here, an extra 100, so on and so forth, all the way. And then once you get to 750K, master 750K, you get a second share. So instead of 100,000 per month, you're getting an extra 200,000 on top of the $750,000 that you're earning every single month. Absolutely amazing. Now we are in pre-launch, and what that means is that you're at a ground floor opportunity. You're at a ground floor, and when it comes to business, it's always about timing, timing, timing. Imagine if you went back in time when Apple was first launching their IPO, and you invested in their stock. I literally the other, like last week or whatever, I heard Tony Robbins talk about it, and he said it really, really amazingly, and it stuck out to me. You know, there's a difference between consumer mindset and an investor mindset. A consumer of Apple would have bought, let's say you bought every single iPhone that came out to date from conception, that money would be total of $20,000. if you take that same 20,000 and you invested it, you would have $200 million today. So that's the same level of opportunity you have today with Divinfi. We're in pre-launch. We haven't even launched our fully blockchain system, which I'm not even going to go into that because that's a whole other realm. We should be ready with that in the next 6 to 8 weeks, probably less. I just like to, under promise, over deliver. And so you just have to be a part of this if you align, because I'm telling you, you're going to miss out on literally the biggest launch in history. Divinfi is more than just a financial system. It is a movement towards financial freedom and personal empowerment. If you're aligned with the vision, get back to the person that invited you. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, or any of the other platforms, make sure to reach out to the person that you're watching this on their profile and just ask them for their unique link. That way they get the credit for inviting you to the system. And so with that being said, I'm going to just announce two more promotions on top of the one that I already talked about. And we'll wrap it up for today. Okay. So we are giving away some awesome prizes. So if you come in and you accomplish this before August the 18th, we actually need to change this date. If you change this, or if you accomplish this before August the 18th, you'll get some cool prizes. If you bring 10 people directly into the system, you get a brand new GoPro, 20 into the system, iPhone, 30 into the system, MacBook. And same thing, same timeline here. If you hit connector 1500, you get a 3-day, 2-night stay at the hotel where we're having our very first Divinfi launch event, which is going to be mid-October, give or take. And then if you hit connector 3000, you get an all-inclusive, which is the flight, hotel, and then VIP access to the event for all 3000s. And it's not first place, second place, third place. Anybody that accomplishes the qualifications gets these prizes. And if you want to stay connected, follow us here, scan this QR code, follow us on Telegram, or join the Telegram group, join the Facebook group, and follow us on Instagram. So with that being said, I'll open up for Q&A and just see if we can get you guys all the information that you need to make a informed decision. Okay. Well, looks like we don't have any questions. If you're on Facebook or any other platforms, just drop your question below or message the person or message me. And we'll make sure to get your questions answered. And I just want to thank you all for being here. Thanks for being the best part of Divinfi. We're really looking forward to all the success that you guys have, all the success that your team has. And we have these calls twice a day. So we'll have another one at 11 p.m. Philippines time, 1 a.m. Australia time. I believe that's going to be 10 p.m. Central. Yes, 10 p.m. Central. So we see you guys then. Get your teams on, get the prospects on, and infinite love, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, bro.